Brendan and I've known you for quite a while. I've known you since I think you were like 6 when I first met you or something like that. And that was at the dirt track. So is that when you started racing around that age?
Yeah, about that age. I was about 5 or 6 when I first started racing on the 50. So
Yeah.
on the 50cc at Broadford. That's where I started, and yeah, just gone from there.
The Kelpie Fat Track Pod, brought to you by Kelpie, affordable race products designed to help you stay on track. Now onto the episode.
Because I'm doing it to Cloud. I'm doing it to Cloud. Hopefully it saves it and we don't lose all the pod like we did last time.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, so g'day everyone. Welcome to another Kelpie Flat Track Pod. Today is something a bit different. We've got 2 people on the line today. Hopefully our lines are all good. Brendan's at Mount Edgerton and Zane Kinna is with us from Frankston, isn't it? You in Frankston? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Frankston.
That's where you answer. That's where you answer. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, good to have you with us, Zane. And you and I did a podcast when you came over to get the bike one day, and unfortunately my computer memory was full. And ever since then, I've been trying to get it empty and haven't been having a lot of luck. So hopefully this will work anyway, recording to Zoom. And yeah, thanks for joining in, Brendan. And sort of just wanted to, well, you're officially and sort of unofficially my co-host. So it's about time we had you back on, and you've managed to make a bit of time. Did you get dinner in, or?
Taylor's cooking it now as we speak. So.
Oh, yeah. What are you having for dinner?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think wraps of some sort. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sounds all right. What about you, Zane? What did you have?
I haven't had anything yet. Not too sure what's for tea.
Do you have to make your own, or because you're 18, yeah? So do you live at home?
Yeah, I still live with my mum, so I think she'll probably cook tea when she gets home. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, cool. So for the people that don't know you, Zane, sort of Brendan and I've known you for quite a while. I've known you since I think you were like 6 when I first met you or something like that. And that was at the dirt track. So is that when you started racing around that age?
Yeah, about that age. I was about 5 or 6 when I first started racing on the 50. So
yeah,
on the 50cc at Broadford. That's where I started, and yeah, just gone from there, racing dirt track. Did a bit of road, and now I'm back at dirt track. So yeah.
Yeah, and loving it from what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
definitely.
What's the bikes? You've got 2 bikes. What are they that you're on?
I've got 2 Kawasaki, a 250 and a 450. So yeah, they're brand new 2022 models. So yeah, I'm loving them.
Have you had older Quackers? I thought you were on YZs. Or have you always been on Quackers?
I had a Kawasaki 250 and another 450 before this, but I had a YZ 125 as a junior. But yeah, it's since a senior, it's always been Cowies. So
yeah. And do you reckon there's a big difference between your old bikes and these new ones?
Oh, definitely. I can feel that my new ones have a lot more power off the bottom, and yeah, so
so feel nice and fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. And you said you did a bit of road and stuff. And do you prefer the dirt over the road?
Oh, well, they both have their benefits. Of course, I'll always love dirt track. I've grown up doing it, and I'll forever love it. But then you got your road as well, and that's a new level of racing. It's really fun as well. I love that, but the road's a lot more expensive, and it's a lot more professional than, I guess you could say, than dirt track at the moment. Like, it's a lot more serious and stuff like that. So I enjoy the dirt track, just sort of come and have fun. It's a lot more fun, and yeah, so there's still that competitive side as well.
Yeah, so sort of that. I've written a few notes down, but that sort of makes me think. So you did the first 2 AFTN rounds, which is Aussie Flat Track Nationals, for us riding my bike. do you reckon that felt more professional than like your normal club day?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely felt more professional. It's definitely sort of heading towards that route, and it was a good experience at the AFTN, and it did feel a lot more professional than say some club days that you have.
And
Yeah.
well, there's a few things that probably could add a pressure, but do you reckon that put more pressure on you as a rider, or it's just like what you're still going out there with the same goal to win, and you do your best to try and achieve that?
Yeah, well, there's definitely a bit more pressure as a bit more professional and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're racing the same people that you would be and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, just get out there and give it a red hot crack. And did you more for the listeners' benefits? We've talked about this a bit, and you haven't spoken to Brendan about it, I don't think. But what do you reckon about the 19s compared to 21-18?
I was a bit of a fan of them. It was real fun riding around on them. It was a little bit different to what the 18 and the 21-inch tires are. So yeah.
And then you went racing again the weekend just gone. So the Aussie Flat Track Nationals is it already 2 weeks or is it 3 weeks? It's a while ago. Anyway,
yeah.
It feels like ages.
It might have been 3 weeks, I think. I'm not 100%.
And then instead of doing the last round of the Harley Club Champs this weekend, you were racing up at Mildura. And you said to me, it was weird having so much grip again.
Yeah, it was. The first time I went out, it was coming into the first corner, and I was still riding it, trying to back it in like you were on the 19 inches, and it just the back wasn't coming out at all. So it was a little bit different, but we got there in the end. So that was it.
Yeah, cool. So well, I'm pretty sure the AFTN is going to be cracking on next year, but if it gets more serious year by year, do you think that sort of would definitely be on your ticket to be riding in that?
Yeah, I definitely would. It was just the AFTN was a lot of fun, so I really enjoyed my time there. As much as I wasn't up the front or anything, I still had a grouse time. So
yeah, well, I should mention that while we're here, that you did a bloody awesome job. Like, I'm really happy with where you got. I know you sort of would have liked, we all want to be at the tippy top.
That's it.
When you're racing, and it's sort of disappointing. But when you start breaking it down, you'd never ridden on 19s, you'd never ridden on those tyres, or you had one short practice here, which is a totally different track again anyway.
Yeah.
So you did really well. It was top 10 on the Saturday, wasn't it? And 13th or 11th on the Sunday. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. 10th overall on the first day, and then I think 12th or 13th on the second day. So yeah, which is a top effort, and like doing the TT, and you didn't mind the jumps, did you? It was just more the track got a bit dicey, a bit different. Yeah, the jumps were good fun. It was something different I've never done before. So yeah, but unfortunately the track was a bit dry and it became real one-liner. So it was hard to make any passing or anything. So yeah,
it's sort of interesting because going back to our road trips, Brendan, and going to the New South Wales titles and that, and you could sort of see it from the footage that's come from the AFTN, is that when it gets one-lined like that, and it's sort of strange seeing a dirt track do that, I think, in a way.
Yeah.
Especially in Aussie. You see it in the American stuff when you watch it.
Yeah.
Seeing an Aussie track like that. And I don't know. Do you reckon it would make it too boring if every track was like that? I sort of think for a spectator, like, because did you have the passing opportunities? I know a few people crashed trying to make passes.
Yeah, well, I actually crashed trying to make a pass at one stage, so it does get a bit frustrating when it's like real one-liner, because like sometimes you got more pace than the person in front of you, but every time you try and go past them, you just sort of end up losing another place because you get off like the one line and you just get all out of shape, and so.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if all the riders were. I'll have to try and talk to some of the other guys and wonder if they were finding the same, because it could have been our tyre selection, because we haven't really got into that sort of, well, I mean, it was the first time anyone's sort of done it in this format there, I think. I think they might have had it as Sultans there, so some of the guys might have done it before, but it sounds like most of them were pretty new to it, and some had never done 19s at all. But that's sort of what the oil was like, Brendan? And it would be interesting to know, because I did talk to someone who was an official on the day, and they sort of was talking about putting more water down, but they're a little bit reluctant to do it. I think, probably didn't want it to go the other way either. But it's sort of interesting. I'd like to see some deeper tracks maybe as well happening. I'm not sure where the next rounds are going to be or the other rounds are going to be, but yeah, nothing wrong with blue grooving, but it's interesting if it's going to become one lined all the time. It could pose a problem, I reckon, for the organisers, for Dave and that. If it's, because like you say, when it becomes one lined, some tracks get next to impossible to pass, and that could make the racing a bit boring from spectators' view and frustrating for riders, I guess.
Yeah, well, I wonder if they could just, maybe moving forward, if they prepped it just like we would for a normal dirt track, that might help keep some surface on there to stop that happening. I'm not sure, but yeah. Yeah,
well, I sort of feel like, and it's only my opinion, I don't know at all. I've got no outside opinions to this thought, but I sort of think they probably let it blue line, like they wanted it to blue line to tie in with the American flat track side of stuff, which is, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, it definitely gave you a different playing field and something you had never ridden before. So in some ways it's a great thing, but if it creates an issue where it makes makes the racing sort of the same on every track, that might be an issue. It's sort of what I'm getting at, I think. It's just something I noticed, and from talking to Zane and you telling me, how hard it was, and like racing Gunnedah was very one-lined. As Kempsey, you could sort of have two lines, but you're on the edge of skatiness, but you could make some passes in certain points of the track. I guess that's where, going back to past pods and that, having a series, that makes a big difference when you've got multiple tracks, and hopefully that stops that happening, because if every round's similar and guys are good at starting consistently and they're always at the front, I reckon it will get pretty boring for the spectator pretty quick. And maybe put some riders off setting up if they know they're always going to be stuck at the back. So that crash you had, how did that one come about? That was a low side, wasn't it?
No. Well, what happened was I tried passing someone that was in front of me, and I went up on the inside, got off the blue groove, and I just couldn't stop the bike in time, and I clipped the back of someone else that was in front of that person and just sort of went over the back of them. So
didn't wipe the other guy out.
I think he went down as well. So he probably wasn't too happy with me.
This is where you say sorry, whoever that was. And Brendan, this weekend you raced the last round of the Harley Club Champs, and after Forbes, you're having trouble with your front end, and you got that all repaired, and that you're looking heaps better this weekend.
I felt heaps better, and I just was telling myself all leading up to it just to have fun with it. So that's what I did, and obviously it goes to show. I also had a Mitchie on the back again. I've been running a Midas all year, and I had a Mitchie for Aussies at Forbes, and then I just didn't change it. So I had a pretty shagged Mitchie on it. So I don't know if that was also helping as well. But the front end definitely felt better, and sort of some close battles and all that. Just feeling more comfortable on the bike sort of makes it a bit easier to have fun, I suppose.
It looked like you're going really good, and Yeah, I was curious about. I think you wouldn't have heard it, but I was announcing, and I mentioned it a couple of times. I was interested to know what tyres you had on, and what tyre Dan Leonetti had on, because he was pulling away from you on the straights.
Yeah, I don't know. I could feel there was it was real muddy just after the concrete off the start, and every time I hit that, I could just feel myself get bogged down. Everyone would just run past me. So. That's probably
even during the race,
weight.
like if you two, because you two are having some great battles, and there's times where you're neck to neck coming back onto the main straight.
Yeah.
And you just pull away. I don't know if that was because of your tyre, or maybe it's they said they had done a different mapping. Maybe that was the key.
They changed the map. Yeah, they put a different did some airbox modifications and that's an air bike, and my bike's still stock. So, and I in the morning, it's sort of the mapping of the bike felt a bit funny, like it bogged where it didn't used to bog. So I don't know, maybe that had something to do with it. I'm not sure. Maybe some water got in somewhere, but yeah, I'll tear it down just before the big titles and make sure it's all good for that.
Yeah, so that's another event that's coming up with the club, and Zane, you're going to be on your KX for that, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be there. So
you'll be running both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So looking forward to that. Bit more dirt track.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen. So yeah.
And what about Mildura for this weekend or the past weekend? How did that go for you?
Yeah, it was all right. I had a bit of a drama. They did like a Shuffs Cup style race. So that was like a partner. You had a partner and you did 10 laps each.
Yeah.
And I started and I got to the last lap and I got a puncture in the rear. So I pinched the tube. And then I rode that last lap with no rear tire, and then got there and my partner's bike wouldn't start. So,
oh shit! Who'd you partner up with?
I'm not sure exactly. It was drawn. They draw partners out of a hat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, fair enough.
And so why did they do that? Because it was a normal club meeting, wasn't it?
No, it was the Shuffs Cup, I think.
Right. That's part of the Marley Meat sponsorship. I've got that all back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the whole point of the meeting, basically.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't know how. Can you hear that? The rain is hammering down here.
Is it?
Yeah. Brendan's 12 minutes exactly. I like it. Exactly. up the road. It's not raining at your place, mate.
No, not yet.
I went to the my wheel builder mates at Classic Spokes and Wheels yesterday to get a 3-inch laced up, and I got there I think about 9:30, 9:45, and just as I got there, Tim was looking at the Vic Roads road closure thing, because we've had it, for people that don't know about it, Victoria and Australia, we've been having a lot of rain, and there was no way out. All the roads were closed. Every into Inverleith had been shut off. I went through about 14 water crossings on the way there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's pretty full on.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, really full on. So that must have been the feature race, going back to the racing. That must have been the feature race then, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And what other races did you have before that?
Before that, they did that at the end of round 3, and then I was in the Pro 250, which I ended up finishing 3rd overall.
Yeah, cool.
And I was in the Pro 450 and the Open as well, but I sort of missed the last races after that, after I pinched the tube. So in the last round, so I was a bit disappointed there, but it is what it is. That's racing, I guess. So
yeah. And was the track as good as you remembered it? Because I know most people really love the surface in that in Mildura.
Yeah, it was a shock when I got there because it had heaps of grip, especially after being on the 19-inch tires. So yeah. But after a session or two, I found my way and was up there again. So
yeah. Sweet. You've raced there too, haven't you, Brendan? Mildura?
Yeah, once. Once I think I just did big titles there one year. Yeah, the grip was the grippiest dirt track I'd ever ridden on.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. I didn't really notice, but I'm not good at noticing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I just get out and ride, sort of thing.
Yeah,
just
No, it was good though. It was fun track. The roof hurts though.
So what have we covered with you, Zane? You like both road and dirt track. You raced. Yeah, our condolences, obviously, about your dad, Mick, passing away.
Thank you.
Yeah, as people won't know, I did run this by Zane that it's okay to talk about Mick, and it must be hard for you not having him there as your nan died. Tells me he was like your pro team mechanic, pro team manager. he did everything for you, had your bikes ready. Zane, and this is, he'll never do it again, but Zane brought my bike back dirty. Dad wasn't there to tell him, hey, mate, you don't do that. But, we all miss having Mick around, and we hadn't, before he got crook, we hadn't seen him a bit because you guys were road racing a lot, but it's sad to lose him. But how do you find that? Have you, without getting too into it, but obviously it's hard not having your dad around, but the learning curve of doing the bikes and everything yourself, have you been going with that?
Yeah, it's definitely been a bit of a change. Like before this, I don't think I'd ever changed an oil filter or anything like that. So now it's all up to me to do. And so it's a lot different. It helps me get a better feel for the bike though, because especially at Mildura, like when I had issues at the start, I was changing the suspension myself and stuff like that and worked it out by myself, which I was pretty happy with because I'd never done that before. So
yeah, so it's making you step up a bit, and like Appen, took the back wheel off to try and change the sprocket. Unfortunately, someone gave you a chain that was too short, which he totally forgot, didn't even think about. So bad me. So apologies about that. But did you do that all on your own, or did you get someone to give you a hand? Because that being a bit wide, those tyres being a bit wider can be a pain to get in and out, a bit like motard.
Yeah, I had a bit of a help from the people that were pitted next to us, which was awesome. So
cool. Yeah, and they would have been going, "What a dick, he had not given me." And so now it's sort of looking ahead. I know you from conversations you really want to get to road racing, but what's your sort of main goal in the short term, and then what's your main goal in the long term? Like, have you really thought about it, or are you just taking it day by day?
I haven't put a lot of thought. I just sort of go with it, see what happens. I hope to go somewhere one day. That's the dream. So I just keep working towards that. And
so when you say go somewhere, what do you mean? Like race for a living, like
money,
or
just racing for a living, or going overseas and racing over there. So
anywhere in mind, like the Irish road racing circuit, or super bikes, or anything sort of that really sticks out, or just anything that you got offered, you'd be there.
Well, I'm not too sure. I haven't put a lot of thought. I'd love to do like the super bikes and stuff like that, or so
and just to so there is no speculation and it's all transparent. I didn't ask Zane to ride my bike, and Zane has agreed to ride for Kelpie next year as well, because Mick passed away. It's got nothing to do with a sympathy vote. It's because he's a good rider and he's eager. When I asked him, there was no, I might have to do this, let me check, or anything. It was yes, straight away. He was there. He's driven probably 9 hours back and forth now to my house, sometimes for someone forgot to give him something again, but for, very small reasons that we could have got away with. You could have made up a back number or something, but you drove 2 hours each way to come and get a back number. To me, that shows that you really want to do it and you're committed to your riding and your racing. So that's, to me, it really is shit that Mick passed away, but that's not why you got offered the ride. So if you ever hear anyone even suggest that, let me know. I'll go and give them a good slap. Because you're definitely in your spot, and I suppose we can officially announce it now that you're the first sort of ever Kelpie Pro rider. I won't say the other one because I haven't had an agreement yet, but there's some more coming. But that's really exciting for me, and I'm glad that you said yes, because we seem to be working well together and are on the same page. And like I said, commitment's the number one thing that you want to do it, and you're not too worried about the ins and outs. Like any business or new job or any sort of venture, we'll sort of roll with the punches, and that's what I'm looking for. And I know you're a bit disheartened you didn't quite get where you wanted in the AFTM, but that was only the first stab of it. And I think next time you're probably going to be on your bike here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have a bit more comfort factor then. Hopefully we'll have quite a few sessions in before then. So yeah, that'd be awesome.
Awesome.
Sorry, should have been a little bit more prepared, isn't it? So we sort of did you tell me your short-term goal, or not really? You just sort of any pro racing you'd be happy with?
Yeah, I'm just going with it, see what happens, and just give my best at everything I can. So
yeah, not interested in the Isle of Man or anything like that.
No, that's probably a bit scary, that one on the streets.
It's a bit out of me too. That's because I showed Catherine, my wife, one time on some footage on YouTube or something, and she said, "Oh, you're not going to do that, are you?" And I'm like, actually, no, I'm not.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm not quite.
That's a special kind of person, that one.
Yeah. So how do you train for your racing? You could probably, I think we've asked you that before, Brendan, but you could probably both ask it, because I think you've changed up your training a little bit, haven't you? That's Brendan. I'm referring.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. We've sort of started a little bit more now. Just taking the diet more seriously, because that's a big thing. So just sort of trying to make that a bit more of a habit. So next year it's a bit easier to do it without thinking so much about it, basically.
Yeah. So, I did notice you've lost a bit of weight. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if you're weighing yourself or anything, but you do.
No, I'm not.
You do look like it has been changing.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
And what about you, Zane? You hit the gym a bit, or?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in the gym, so lifting weights, and I've been doing a lot of cardio lately, especially after AFTN, because I was buggered after all those laps.
Yeah, we didn't get into that. You both would have seen on social media. I think Jared Brook put up there. What was it? 100 and you've got better memory than me, Brendan. Can you remember?
Yeah, I think it was 130 plus or something like that.
Yeah,
130 laps plus.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. And so, Zane, for you, even because you had already been training at the gym, and that obviously not so much cardio because you've just increased it. But was there a point where you were cutting laps on the bike during a race and I just wanted to stop, or?
Yeah, it was more once I came back in, my arms could barely move, my hands were stuck closed. So that was sort of realized I got to do a bit more cardio, and so I can keep my breath up and all that. So
so
that's one of the cool things about it, I reckon. Like it's just another factor then, fitness coming into it, whereas dirt track fitness is not normally a thing. Like even me on Sunday, we didn't stop for lunch. So I didn't eat all through the day except for breakfast. So even like the end of the day, I said to myself, I'm glad they're only 4 lap races, but the AFTN being longer ones, I'm glad they're longer, because it just adds another factor, and you got to be good. You got to be better than someone else at another thing to be, to win that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, and it was interesting. So those that weren't there, Zane included, because the threat of the weather, and it looked like it was going to rain, and it was forecast to rain that Broadford. the club decided to go straight through. So that was 3 rounds straight through. And it's something I don't think I've ever seen that in my whole time of being at the club. So it was something a lot of people wouldn't have experienced. And you could really see at the getting near the end, especially in the last round, a lot of people were actually really feeling it. Look, there's a few more mistakes happening. I don't know if I'd say the pace slowed any, but you could definitely see in the body language and that some riders were struggling more than others.
Yeah, sure. It was a pretty physical track because it was wet in the morning too. Like, it's sort of, you had to muscle the bike around a bit more in the morning, and then by the time it dried out, it was pretty rough in spots. So it was a bit more physical than it's been before.
Yeah, it was. You couldn't sort of really tell that from my seat.
Yeah,
it looked nice.
It was pretty
end of the day.
For the weather, it was good. Yeah.
So so you're doing a bit more cardio, Zane. Have you got a pushy, or you do that at the gym too on a treadie, or?
Yeah, no, I haven't got a pusher, just on the treadmill at the gym and on the stair climber, and so.
Yeah. Have you got a push bike at all at home, like even an average one?
I have a BMX, but it's not in a great condition at the moment.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a push, doing 50 Ks on the bench. Although you'll be one of the, if you do that for a few months, you'll definitely be one of the fittest. But yeah, cycling's really, really awesome on the bike, like when you get on in the racetrack. I do. But I've trialed and errored. So I tried just running and I've tried just cycling. And I don't know why, but cycling seems to be better. You'd think running's better for toning up and losing a lot of fat and stuff. But the cycling, I seem to just be able to go longer and longer with the cycling. So I don't know if it's something to do, or running's all about rhythm as well. So I don't really know the answer of why, but I found that I could go longer and harder after cycling for a few months.
There you go.
Yeah, so there you go. So there's a tip. That's Darcy's tip of the day. As my family will tell you, I'm full of useless tips. So we've got quite a few new listeners all over the world, actually, in the Netherlands and Spain, and which is really awesome. So some of them might not realise that in Australia we have four lap sprint races, more like speedway, than the American flat track. Like their finals are usually, I think, 10 minutes and 2 laps, or 8 minutes and 2 laps. I can't remember which way around. It might be even 10 and 12. I can't remember. So that is a little bit of a different kettle of fish. It's with the AFTN, like you're saying, sort of shocked your body a bit. But I think it's, like Brendan's saying, I think it's a great thing for the sport and just mixes it up. And I'm getting a lot of inquiries about wheels and that. So I think you're going to have quite a bigger field next year, which is going to be awesome. So you never know, I might throw a leg over. I wasn't going to, but I don't know, I'm getting more and more tempted every time I see stuff on Instagram or Facebook. So if you're not going to be riding my bike, or none of you are going to ride my bike, well, I can't just sit there, you can. So any sponsors or anything, Zane?
No, it's mainly just my nan and funding it, and of course I've got you helping me out, which is awesome. But other than that, nothing really. So
is your nan still funding it after I dropped you in it?
She is, surprisingly.
I didn't know. I didn't know Zane had had told his nan that I gave him half of what I really gave him. It happened. So I sort of dropped him in it a bit. So we won't tell you how much he really got and how much he told her. But the lesson is just be honest. Right from the get-go. But I was laughing all afternoon after that. I was thinking, I should have really dropped him in it. But so Brendan, what's the rest of the year look like for you?
Just Vix in 3 weeks, I think, and then and then just prep for next year. I suppose Christmas and all that takes up a lot of time. So yeah, racing wise, just Vix, and probably try and get some riding in over Christmas. You know, either trail riding or riding at your place or something. But for racing, it's just one more race for the year, and then that's it.
Yeah, and it's the same for you too, Zane.
Yeah, I think that's the same for me, Vix, and then just get focused on next year. So
yeah, hit a few ride parks over Christmas, hopefully, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think they operate all through Christmas, don't they?
Normally, I think, yeah.
Yeah, surely they'd make their money during that time.
Yeah,
sweet. And what's the story with your mum, Zane? Does she support your racing? Does she not like it?
Yeah, she supports it. She doesn't really come and watch a whole lot because it's a bit of driving from Frankston and that. So, and because she works as well, so she doesn't come very often, but she's always eager to see how I went and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because I think I've only ever met her. Probably twice. I think when you were little, I met her, and then the last few meetings where Mick was coming along, I met her again there.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because my wife doesn't like coming to racing anymore either. But it's more of she says it's boring, and she doesn't. Well, apparently I found out that every time she's come, I've got injured, which I didn't link. That was one of the girls linked that up. And apparently she says that, but I don't think that's true. She's been at plenty of racing where I haven't been injured. But it's cool to have your family behind you, and it's good if they understand and support you, because it is a dangerous sport. And I think we're sort of having a discussion about the money in the sport, and some people not understanding about, well, maybe my point of view and other people's point of views, why it's important that riders get paid. And it's funny, I don't know if either of you listened to the Tank Slapping podcast, but Corey Dexter was saying, and of course you can say, oh, it's America, and all those other factors. Who gives a shit about that, really? But what we do is dangerous, and we do it not only for ourselves but entertaining. And I remember talking to Brendan years ago, and how you told me that you love racing in front of big crowds and putting on a show,
Yeah.
And you should. In my opinion, you should get a reward, at least have a reward on offer if you're not getting paid per meeting, which is quite a big dream and a wee way off for some riders, but it's starting to happen with more riders. And I think it's really important to have that in Aussie, and I hope that my business can start doing that for you guys. And definitely Zane got a payday without having to be on the podium, and it wasn't huge, but at least it's a start. And hopefully we have a team of guys that I can do that for, and that's why. And I hope that people realise that their sales, that's where it's going. It's not really going in my pocket. I work about 5 part-time jobs so that I can still make time to keep everything running and sell the product so that we can get you guys on bikes and doing what you love doing. Because let's be honest, I'm probably at the older, at the other end of the scale than you young blokes, and I still love getting out there and ripping it up. But as far as being a professional paid rider, I'd leave that to you guys, because I think you've got more chance of making a future at it than I have. So, but thanks heaps, Zane, for taking that opportunity and making the Kelpie bike look good. And I did get a few comments about your riding and that, and it was all positive. And Yeah, and Brendan always for supporting me and helping Kelpie and always mentioning it. And I don't really have much else to say for this one. Sort of maybe Merry Christmas, or is it Happy Halloween? Because the shops confuse me because there's Halloween stuff, Christmas stuff's probably Easter eggs already.
Yeah, they're getting it all in.
I don't know what are these shop managers on.
Yeah.
Did you guys have anything you wanted to say or mention?
No, I think that's pretty good. Pretty much sums it all up.
And when are we getting Taylor on here, Brendan?
I don't know about that. We can keep asking. we got to get her and Lockie on.
Yeah, her and Lockie, and Lockie wasn't there. I don't think Lockie listens to these pods, so we can pretty much say anything we want about him.
Yeah, no, I think he does. I think he does listen to most of them. Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing I should do too is say a big shout out to everyone that comes up at events and meetings and that and says how much they appreciate the podcast and that. Craig Small, g'day mate, I hope your day's going well. He listens to them while he's driving his truck, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome.
It makes it feel worth doing. I think I'd do it anyway because I enjoy it, but enjoy listening to myself. But thanks to everyone that is tuning in and especially all the people from different countries. It's great to see that they're interested in what's going on over here. So and I really don't know what will happen with the 19s. Some people have actually asked me straight up, do you think that will be the new racing scene? And Brendan and I have talked about this a fair bit, and it doesn't have to be, but I've got something written up here. Give yourself a chance to succeed and take responsibility for your results. So basically, if you put the effort in, something will happen. At the moment, Dave Maddox putting the effort in to make 19s and it's successful in Australia, and I think he's done a bloody awesome job from what I could see. Unfortunately, wasn't there. If people are worried about dirt track dying, then they better get off their ass and make sure it doesn't. Is pretty much how I look at it. And
that's it.
Yeah, if you're one of the people that are going, it's going to kill dirt track, well, and then you're not doing anything about it, then you're letting it die. So, that's the way I look at it. I want 19s to succeed, but I don't want 21-18 Australian dirt track to suffer because of that. And I don't believe it will, because I support everyone and everything anyway, no matter what you're riding. I've got a couple development riders coming on board next year, and one of them doesn't really like our tyres, and it's a she won't be riding 19s, and that's fine. I'll still support it. It doesn't mean I'm not going to support it. So I'd rather it be comfortable and develop and get faster and better on what she's comfortable, and when she's got a higher skill level, if she wants to try other things out of her comfort zone, then she can. But I don't think people like me and like Dave are what kills the 21-18, and I'm not saying it's dead, but I'm just saying if it does drop off, it's not because of us, it's because people aren't that love that setup aren't doing enough. That's
exactly right.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys reckon. Were you talking then, Brendan? Because you must have frozen. That was freaky.
Oh, no, I just said exactly right, yeah.
Yeah, sweet. All right, guys. Well, cool. I reckon we'll call that one a wrap, and you guys go and have dinner. Your mum must have got home from work and cooked your tea by now, Zane.
I think so. She is home, so yeah.
What an awesome mother.
I know.
My wife, and I should give her credits here, because she did that for about the first, probably first 18 years of marriage, I reckon. And now she's going, no, just do it yourself. Not every night. But all right, have a good evening. Enjoy your wraps, Brendo, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, sounds good. See you then.
Yeah, sweet. All right,
Awesome,
guys.
All right.
Thank you for having me, Darcy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Did you guys want to shout out sponsorship or anything like that before we go?
No, I think it's pretty good. Leave
Sure
that for the social media post.
Well, actually, here I go again. But, where was MTR on Sunday?
Alan has had COVID.
Oh,
Brett had to work. So, and the bikes, those old bikes, they're good when the track's good, but when the track's like that, they don't like it very much. So, yeah, I think they might come out for Vicks. If not, though, we'll just focus on next year. So
next year.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So don't go altering the hell out of old bikes, Zane. Just get one and keep it stock and it will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm not going to keep you any longer. Take care,
All right.
and we'll talk soon.
Talk to you later.
All right.
See you.
All right, catch you.
So.